Welcome in, Dynasty fam. Thank you guys for joining in. Today, we're going to be taking a deep dive onto the waiver wire for our Dynasty Fantasy Football teams for NFL Week 6. So, getting straight into it, guys, going to be talking about, as always, we start about players that should probably be rostered more than likely in your leagues, but just in case they aren't, we have at number one, guys, is going to be Salvon Ahmed. Right now, 52% rostered, guys. Pretty much, if you want pieces of that Miami offense, guys, right now, and he had 12.4 fantasy points this past week, 6 rushes for only 23 yards, but gets you a TD. And what's pretty good, guys, he got you 5 targets, right? 3 receptions for 11 yards. Chris Brooks was the guy that we kind of liked heading into this week, but Chris Brooks left with the ankle injury. Now we know that Jeff Wilson probably he might be back this next week, but pretty much right now you have Salvon Ahmed, just kind of a high-end handcuff. If either Wilson or Mostert were to go down, gonna have a good handcuff and a good guy to come in and get some production and opportunity in a really good offense. So Salvon Ahmed, if he's out there, definitely roster him. Then you have Latavius Murray, guys, 59%. Damian Harris is out with a concussion slash neck injury, possibly. So we'll see how much time Damian Harris misses. Should have an uptick in opportunity for Latavius Murray. And there is another running back coming in there for Trouts tomorrow. We'll see that we'll talk about in a little bit. Now for the wide receiver position, guys, we pretty much talked about Trey Palmer about a couple weeks already. So just a handcuff to Mike Evans, who's been dealing with some hamstring issues. He went 4 for 50 this week, right? Mike Evans, not Trey Palmer. So just someone to keep an eye on if he's on your waiver wire. If you have an extra spot, you want to put him on there, see what happens to Mike Evans. Trey Palmer could have a boost in value. Then you have Darius Slayton, guys. He got you 6 targets this week with Tyrod Taylor leading the Giants. So he actually was had the most receiving yards for the Giants at 69. So we'll see. Jones is hoping to play, but if not, if he doesn't come back, looks like Darius Slayton this week at least was the target favorite for Tyrod Taylor. And then going into, you have Braxton Berrios, pretty much just like Ahmed, guys, just a high-end handcuff. We've seen Hill was left the game with cramps, but we've seen him get banged up in the past or even hamstring these speedy guys, right? Waddle and Hill. If something were to happen to him, to either of them, Braxton Berrios, pretty much the next man up. Then you have Hunter Renfrow, guys. He really has been he's just been going phased out of his offense, but he is on the trade block pretty much, and trade rumors have been opening up for him. So he's just kind of a sneaky name to add, basically a speculative add right now. If something were to happen and he were to move into free agency and get a bump in opportunity or someone that wants him, right, and he goes into a good offense, because right now pretty much he is not running routes anymore. He's pretty much been phased out and another man has taken his spot. We'll talk about that person later. Then heading into the QB position, guys, we have Gardner Minshew, 62% rostered. So just want to put his name out there. He threw for over 300 yards, guys. He had 3 picks, so not really that good overall. But I mean, for fantasy, 300 yards is good. Hopefully, he can make some plays. Only had 1 touchdown. So we'll see, guys. The next 2 games, though, are Cleveland and New Orleans. So definitely a tough schedule. If you want to take a flyer maybe on Sam Ehlinger, if you're going to count out Gardner Minshew for these next 2 weeks. But I'm not going to count out Minshew just yet. I want to see what he does in Cleveland, guys. And then Aiden O'Connell, just because you have Jimmy G, who's hurt again, guys, suffered a back injury. So we'll see Aiden O'Connell out there on your waiver wire. If he is, he might get to start this next week. Brian Hoyer, if you believe in Brian Hoyer. And then, guys, on the bottom of there, we have the bye weeks. Let me get this off. So we have the bye weeks, guys, right there. And we have Cowboys, Bengals, Jets, Panthers, Titans, and Texans on bye. So on this next screen, if you see someone slashed out, is because, again, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe, guys, if you like the content and the Dynasty videos that we are providing you guys. And also another way that you could support the channel, guys, is we have at Thrive Fantasy, guys, we are partnering with Thrive Fantasy. If you're into prop bets and sports betting, download the Thrive Fantasy app. The link is in our description. And important, guys, you have to use the promo code DynastyFam. And if you do that, you get a 100% deposit match on all your deposits from $25 all the way to $250. We also give you guys a free prop bet as well. I think this week was for tonight. It was Herbert, I think, 0.5 yards passing. And we did horrible, guys, last week in prop betting. So you probably don't want to listen to our advice on prop bets, which we don't give much, but we usually give our favorite prop bet for the week. But thank you guys again for supporting us. And let's get into it, guys. Now the lesser owned deeper dive below 50%. And then we'll also give you guys our reasons as to why we like these players. Our favorite players to add right now this week are going to have the asterisks. So we have Craig Reynolds, guys, from the Detroit Lions. So Gibbs may be back this past week, but Monty is out dealing with a rib injury. So if Monty were to be out, guys, we can see even with Gibbs back in the lineup, they like Craig Reynolds. They're comfortable using him in the passing game as well as on the ground. So I think you can get a decent amount of workload for Craig Reynolds, even with Gibbs in the lineup, right? He could be, and this doesn't even guarantee that Gibbs even comes back. So Craig Reynolds, with if Monty is out, could have a good increase in opportunity this coming week. Then for the 49ers, guys, we have Jordan Mason. CMC left the game in the second half, guys, dealing with an oblique and also possibly a rib injury. We'll see what the verdict is. Keep an eye out for those injury reports. And then you have Elijah Mitchell came back this week, but he's been dealing with a knee injury as well for pretty much the past few seasons, right? And he already missed some time this season. He just came back this week. He only got 2 carries, guys, and he went for -3 yards. That was Elijah Mitchell. Jordan Mason went 5 for 27, so a little bit over 5 yards per carry on the ground, got you a TD. So I think if Mitchell's healthy and back, he's going to be the lead dog. And Shanahan already said, but I mean, Mitchell doesn't seem 100% right now. So Jordan Mason, if CMC is out, Jordan Mason may have some good opportunity for that San Francisco 49ers offense coming into this next week. Now, the next running back we have, guys, is going to be Damian Williams, elevated from the practice squad, guys, from the Arizona Cardinals. DeMarcado straight up stunk, guys. Well, he was out there a lot, though. He played like 43% of the snaps, just didn't really get much opportunity. But we had pretty much Keontae Ingram and DeMarcado played more, but he did good with the opportunities that he had. He went 8 carries for 36 yards, so 4.5 yards per carry, got your reception for 8 yards. And this was fresh off the practice squad. Keontae Ingram, I think, ran for like 50 yards, something like that. So a little bit better on a little bit more touches, but he got more touches than DeMarcado, guys. So I think if he gets, I mean, based on what he did this week, maybe he can get some more playing time, earn some more carries and some more touches in that offense. He's a good veteran, right? So maybe that they want that veteran presence. So Damian Williams, only 2% roster right now. A deep dart throw, deep flyer if you need it at the running back position. But he got a couple of carries and looked decent his first week out. So now the last guy for the running back position, guys, we have Leonard Fournette, pretty much working out for the Buffalo Bills tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes, guys. But we know Leonard Fournette, he can handle a good workload. He gets right goal line work. He's also a good receiving back and also good in the pass blocking game. So James Cook has only had 5 targets, guys, the past 3 weeks, right? And all 3 weeks combined, only 5 targets. So Leonard Fournette, if we were to sign, guys, you know, we have Damon Harris dealing with that injury right now. So he would land in a good offense, just a good spot for him to be in. Pretty much an instant bump in value if Leonard Fournette were to sign with the Buffalo Bills. Then we have Jordan Mason, guys. Oh, we talked about Jordan Mason, I think, right? Did we not talk about? Okay, Jordan Mason, guys, just with Mitchell in our lineup. Yes, we did. Jordan Mason had 10 carries. So another guy that you can think about, right? Jordan Mason. I think we touched on him already. Now, Nick Westbrook-Ikhine, guys, pretty much he's just been out there, guys, running routes, running 70%, out there 70+% of the snaps the past few games without no Burks. So he got 4 targets, right? Not that great, but Hopkins only had 5 targets. So something to keep an eye on and somebody worth monitoring. He's crossed out because he's pretty much on bye. So maybe if you want to take a flyer next week, Westbrook-Ikhine is out there. And then Trey Tucker, guys, is probably my favorite ad right now in the deeper leagues. So just a speculative ad right now for the Las Vegas Raiders. 91st percentile speed score, guys, 4.40. And he's made some plays, guys, in preseason and camp. This week he goes out there. He goes 2 for 2, so 2 receptions for 57 yards. He also gets a carry for 4 yards. But he's had 2 carries so far other than this week. The other one he ran for 16 and then 34 yards. So he definitely can make some plays, guys. And pretty much he's beat out Hunter Renfrow now, guys. He's the third wide receiver for the Las Vegas Raiders. He had 22 snaps to Renfrow 7, and also he ran 18 routes to only 4 for Renfrow. So there's been already some trade rumors like we talked about earlier for Renfrow. So this is just kind of a domino effect. Pretty much he's already earned some time. And you've had Jacoby Myers, right, miss a game. So if someone misses time, right, you could get a bump in value for Trey Tucker. And even if Renfrow were to move on to another team, you get a boost in value, I think, for Trey Tucker. He's definitely earned some more opportunity on the field. So something just to monitor, but just a good little fun ad right now. Deeper leagues, if you want to take a flyer, if something were to happen to Hunter Renfrow, and you could pick up right now Trey Tucker. Now, the next one is going to be Brandon Powell for the Minnesota Vikings. Pretty much this is just about opportunity in a high passing volume offense, right? So he was third in snaps for the Vikings. He got 6 targets last week, then he gets you 4 targets this past week. Also got a carry in each of those games. So just something worth monitoring is Brandon Powell if he's on your waiver wire. Vikings only threw 31 times, guys. It was kind of a bad weather game. It was windy out there. But Brandon Powell could have some opportunity in that Minnesota Vikings offense. And Mecole Hardman, guys, also just another speculative ad, deeper leagues if you want to take a flyer on Mecole Hardman. We see that he's a good receiver. I can stretch the field. And right now he's on the trade block again. They're saying there's some trade rumors going around for Mecole Hardman. So if you were to, he's not pretty much not being utilized right now by the Jets. He even had a healthy scratch one of his games. So Mecole Hardman, if he were to get picked up by a good offense, someone that could possibly see a good bump in value and really an opportunity if he were to just get on the field. Now for the quarterback position, guys, we have Malik Cunningham, only 48% rostered. So right now, Mac Jones is struggling, guys. He's been struggling, has not thrown for over 200 yards in the past pretty much 5 games, since the past 5 games. And one of the games, it was 201. So he barely did it, right? So he signed pretty much, they've seen enough of Mac Jones, guys. They signed Malik Cunningham straight off the practice squad, and they gave him a 3-year deal. And he pretty much just adds a good little rushing element to that Patriot offense, which we've seen them like in the past, right, with Cam Newton. So right now he's the 97th percentile speed score, guys, with a 4.57. So for the quarterback position, this guy can definitely run. He's got some wheels on him. He ran for over 1,000 yards in 2021 at Louisville, guys. So right now, guys, they have a tough game coming up against Buffalo for Mac Jones. But after that Buffalo game, you have Miami, Washington, and Indianapolis. So if Mac Jones is to struggle again this week, we might have Malik Cunningham coming into some favorable opportunity and some favorable matchups for these next 3 weeks. So Malik Cunningham, if he's on your waiver wire, I think he's someone that definitely should be scooped up in your leagues. He's in 48% of leagues right now. And these percentages are from Sleeper. Then after that, guys, for the quarterback position, you have Malik Willis. So right now, Tannehill was injured, guys, dealing with a high ankle sprain. So he may miss some time. And Malik Willis, just like Malik Cunningham, guys, just has the opportunity on the ground with his legs. So I like Malik Willis. He's improved, guys. He's shown some improvement, right, in preseason, had some decent outings. So Malik Willis, if he's on your waiver wire, which 45% of the time he is, good little fun ad for you right now that could get some starts, and maybe not to play him, right, but just to get him and see, man. We've seen Josh Dobbs, right, do decent, so you never know. Take a shot on some talent, right? Malik Willis has some talent. We'll see what he could do for these Tennessee Titans. Then right there after that, guys, you have Tyson Bagent. I'm not really excited about picking up Bagent, guys, but Fields is banged up right now. He may miss some time. Bagent, if you want to pick him up as speculative ad, if Fields were to miss some time and see what he could do, if he does anything out there. But I'm not too excited about Bagent, guys, but for sure Malik Willis and Malik Cunningham, I'm interested in picking up. Malik, if you need to start this week, it's going to be tough. But for the next, like I said, for the next few games, I'm very interested in Malik Cunningham. And then for the tight end position, guys, I have Daniel Bellinger, just a speculative ad, only 40% rostered. So pretty much if you're in like a 2 tight end league or a tight end premium league, Darren Waller has been dealing with groin injuries, hamstring injuries, right? He's just kind of been hampered, been on the injury report for multiple weeks now. So Daniel Bellinger is just kind of a speculative ad to pick up right now. It's not like you love what's going on with the Giants offense, but someone that you could pick up and see if something were to happen to Darren Waller. We already saw him have season-ending injuries last season. So just someone that you could pick up right now, like I said, in the two tight end leagues that could maybe help you guys going for the future. If something were to happen to Darren Waller, he could have a bump in value pretty soon. So that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for tuning in to the show. Be sure to like and subscribe and check out some of our other videos.